Hello friends, this is Grace here over at the Comfy Nest with Grace, and I'm going to be working on a beachy / summer art project using the stencils, and so welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm just going to pull up the feed on my iPad just here below to make sure that it's working and that I'm connecting with everybody. So when you guys come on, you can help me by saying hello so I know that you're there. And I know that, you can hear me and that you can see me. Super important before I get started, right? We want to make sure all the things are working. Well, Ellen, hello, and thank you for being the first person to say hi. Hello and welcome. I appreciate your being here. Hi, Sally. Thank you for saying hello. And there's another Ellen. Oh, no, that's the same Ellen saying hello to everybody, but Ellen Mitchell is on watching, I can see. Hello, Beth from Tennessee. Hello, hello. Okay, I know that you're definitely here because you're all saying hello. So let me just get the live feed up. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's not the right one. I want to get this one up so I can see your comments while I'm working, because I'll put the camera down on the project so you guys can see what I'm up to. Uh-oh. Oh no, where are the comments? Come on, Facebook. I know you can do it. No. Okay. It's going to take me a minute more because I did notice earlier this afternoon that Facebook was funky with a couple of things, and I just was like, oh, please, Lord, please let this work tonight, because you just never know. You just never know lately what's going on with Facebook. I'm not picking up the comments. I cannot get them. All right, I'm going to go out of Facebook completely. I got to close out the app and open it back up. Hi, Angela. Hello, Teresa. Hi, Kim from Missouri, and Jennifer Potts from West Virginia. Hello, friends. So glad you guys are here. Thanks for joining. Oh, Connie is in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. So Connie, you know what the funny thing is, Amanda, who lives in Pensacola, Amanda, who's one of the other brand ambassadors from Metal Modern Design, she lives in Pensacola? I think that's where she lives. And she was saying the other day how like beachy theme is all year round in Florida, right? She lives by the beach, and beachy decor and nautical theme is all year round, and I would love to live in a place like that. I live in North Dakota, so it is not beachy. We live on a lake. Our property isn't on the lake, but we're a lake town, and so there is beach here, but it's not the same as having the ocean roaring and all the birds and the turtles and all that fun stuff. So someday I dream of getting there. Oh my goodness, you guys. Hello, Kip, and hello, Donna from Colorado, and Denise is here from California. We'll give away 3 sets of stencils, you guys, so it's really good that you're saying hello. Make sure that as soon as you get on, you say hello, because I'll randomly choose from the comments the 3 winners. So that means everybody wants to at least, so that your name is like kind of in for the draw, like not drawing, but it's a random, I randomly pick people from the drawing. So if you guys, I cannot get the comments up. I just can't get them, you guys. What is the problem? Let's see. I'm going to try one more thing. I got them. Yay. I think I did it. Oh gosh, patience, my friend. Oh, yay, there we go. Indiana here. Diana says, Indiana is here. She's representing the whole state. Well, hello, Miss Indiana. Diane from Miss Indiana. And there's Denise from Texas. Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I got this to work. Thank you, Brenda. Oh gosh, I usually tell you what, guys, where I get, she says cute earrings. I usually tell you guys where I get things. Somebody had like a jewelry party, and I ordered them, but I don't remember the name of the company, so I'm sorry, I can't tell you. Thank you so much for acknowledging that. Shirley says newly, I think she's saying newly in Tennessee, so you're new to Tennessee. Is that what you're saying? Welcome. And Rhonda from North Carolina. All right, so I'm going to be using 2 sets of stencils tonight. I'm using By the Sea, which is this set, and I love this set because of all the creatures. I love all the little creatures. Look at the octopus, you guys, and the crab, and the pelican, and the whale, and then it has like the nautical, what is that called? It's like the compass. It's really cute. So it's the compass, and then you get the lighthouse. Okay, so I'm using By the Sea. I'm using one of them from that set, and then I'm using a different stencil from this set. So they're both 6-inch sets, and they both come with 6 stencils. Both are available on the website. If you choose to go out and order them, you'll get 10% off using my link or my code. So this one says, take me to the beach. And then maybe these are kind of harder to see because the wording is kind of little, but it has the coral. It has life is better at the beach. That's the one I'm going to use tonight. It has this one. I love this one. Take me to the beach. How cute is that? That would be cute on a t-shirt. That would be really cute on a t-shirt or in a tote bag. I could put that on so many things. I just could see it being on so many things. I love you to the beach and back. That one is super cute. I really love the font on this one, the Sand, Surf, and Sun. I love that thick, chunky font. And then the last one is the turtles. And my sister Kathy is anybody a turtle lover out there? If you're a turtle lover, just give me a hashtag turtle. The turtles. Oh, wait, I got them upside down backwards. That reminds me of Crush in that movie, Finding Nemo. Oh my gosh, so cute. So the turtle in that movie was just so darling. The two of them, the dad and the little son. Oh my gosh, they were so cute. Patty says, oh, she's replying to Patty. I have a younger brother in Green Bay. I have these sets. They are great. Liz, we're going to do like a little art project. So a lot of times we're doing home decor projects. And you can use the stencils on anything. You can use it on clothing, on a tote bag. You can use it on your walls. You can use the stencils on painted furniture. You could use them on stained furniture. You could use it on a greeting card or like a paper, you know, gift bag or brown wrap that you're going to wrap paper with. You could just use these stencils on anything in your scrapbooking. I'm going to use them. I'm going to create a piece of artwork using the stencils. So you'll see. I'm going to get started with it. It's like a beachy scene. I'm going to just turn the... Liz says, I love turtles. Oh, Carla's a hashtag turtle too. They're all my turtle lovers. Ellen says she has a tattoo of a turtle on her leg. Now that means you're definitely a turtle lover. Trisha likes turtles. It's funny, you guys. Luana loves turtles. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. I love to see this about you guys. My sister Kathy really loves them. Like if she sees anything that, you know, like a dress that has a turtle on it, she lives in Florida. So the clothing down there is very beachy and very nautical. And if she finds anything with turtles on it, she's all about it, right? Magnets or a cup or anything. She loves them. Sylvia says, I hope to order soon. I'm making some signs. Well, oh, look at the little turtle emoji. Sylvia, that's so cute. When you order, I'd be pleased. I'd be so honored if you'd use my code, The Comfy Nest. You'll get 10% off, and I get a commission from that. So I love it. It's such a great way to support me as a small business and to give you a little boost in your wallet too. So thank you to Essential Stencil for that. I love these on furniture. So I'm restoring furniture now, and I live at the beach. It's a big hit. Oh, good for you, Connie. I'm going to paint on this. This is a stretched canvas from the Dollar Tree, you guys. If you need, this is an 8x10 stretched canvas. They have the flat ones too. At least my Dollar Tree has the flat ones too. The stretched canvases are nice because you don't have to worry about framing them. You know, you're gonna paint it and then you're done, right? So I'm gonna put a little scene on here for summer on this stretch canvas from the Dollar Tree, and then it can just get hung right up. Now the flat canvases, the ones that don't have the wood frame on the inside, if you don't have a frame, and I was tempted to do that too, you can always punch holes in the flat canvas and put a cute piece of like ribbon or rope to just hang it even without a frame. But I like these canvases too because you can just use them right away. So I'm going to create a beach scene here. Look at you guys. I got my paintbrushes ready. I got all these paints ready. Can you see all my colors? Can you see all this? Oh, I got to scoot it all over just a tish. There we go. Now you can see it, I hope. Got my water out of the way. So we're going to create a beach scene. I have never done this before, you guys. I am going to attempt this and we'll see what I can accomplish, right? So just cheer me on and cross your fingers that I can make this work. I think I can do it. I think I got faith in myself that I can do it. I'm going to put a little bit of white on here and a little bit of blue to create a sky. Oh, if I can get the blue open. I picked all of my paints that have like, they're almost empty. So we may struggle tonight to get this to go. I'm going to blend these two colors. I got just a tish of white and a tish of blue. I'm going to make myself a sky. We're going to put the ocean and then we're going to put a little sand on the bottom. I have never done this before, so wish me luck. Wish me luck. I love blending paints and I love playing with paint colors. I love it. I love it. And tonight I was playing with paint textures to create a sand, to give your sand a textured look. But the only reason I'm not going to do that tonight is because generally texture mediums or anything that you use to, like even the thick, what is it called? The heavy bodied acrylic paints, because they're thicker, they take longer to dry. And so that's a little bit of a challenge if you're trying to do something live, right? So I would need to give it time or take the hairdryer to it to dry, which I just felt like, maybe we shouldn't take up all our time waiting for things to dry. So I decided against the texture. That is something coming up. If any of you are in my craft therapy club, we're going to do some texture painting, I think, this summer. I love working with texture. And I love to teach, so that'll be fun. Okay, so I started out blending the two colors, and now I'm giving a crisscross motion to it, just so it doesn't look so darn perfect. Because the sky's going to have, right? It's going to have some variety to it usually. And I'm going to add just a little more white so I can create the illusion of some clouds. And for that, instead of crisscrossing and doing a long stroke, I'm going to be dabbing. So I'm sorry for the noise that it's like, it keeps the frame of the board keeps coming up off the table. So I'm sorry for that. I'll try to not spend a lot of time on that. There, just a little white cloud in the sky. Have you ever gone to the beach? Have you ever gone to the beach? It doesn't have to be, well, you could even be outside in a field. It doesn't even have to be at the beach. But have you ever gone out and seen, you're laying there, you know, I love, when we go on vacation, we go to Florida. In the winter we go, because we're in North Dakota, and it's cold here. I'm like, who am I kidding? I love the beach. I love the warm weather. So for Christmas, we take our kids to Florida during their Christmas break. It's also my husband's break from work. So we do the Florida thing. And we do spend time on the beach if we can and if the weather allows. And if you're ever sitting there in a field, on the beach, wherever you might be, and you see the clouds, you know, it might be a really clear blue day, and then the clouds go by and it takes the sun away for like a minute. And it's amazing the difference in the air, like how much warmer it is when the sun is beating down on you versus when you get that little bit of cloud coverage. So I find it very interesting how much the clouds affect your, like what you get from the atmosphere. Because you're not getting, you can still burn even on a cloudy day, but you're not getting direct sunlight. So it is a little bit different, right? All right, I feel like the ocean should have a little bit of green in it. So I'm adding a little green here. I'll get to the sand in a minute, but I'm adding just a little bit of green. This is supposed to be my ocean. Now I'm gonna come in with a little bit of this green. I should have probably put this all on a paint palette. Here's my tin foil. Let me get it out, because now I think, I usually use tin foil, you guys, for my paint palette. I think I have too much green there, so I'm gonna just take it off of my board, and now I can blend a little more easily. Now I want this right here, this line that is the line of the ocean, I want that to be a little darker. So I want to come in with a little bit more of this. I'm using this color. This is what I used on the sky. It's called, I don't know if you can read it, Light Periwinkle from Folk Art. That's really old, and I got it on sale, as you can see. This one from Deco Art Americana is called Desert Turquoise, and I'm going to use that in here to darken this up a little bit. Let me check comments real quick and see what everybody's saying. I was in the movie, the niece was Darla. What? Hope to order soon and make some signs. You were in what movie, Darla? She says, yes, I love this on my furniture. Oh, I'm way behind on comments, you guys. You need to make another t-shirt. No kidding. I love t-shirts are so fun to make, right? Because you can customize them exactly the way you want. Okay, this is my ocean. And so I want this transition from the sky to the back, the ocean that's furthest away. I want that to be a little darker. Like, because it's further away, so we just see shadows here. We see lots of shadows. Okay, and then as you come forward, I'm going to lighten this up a little. I'm going to put a little bit of white here on my paint palette. So we're going to lighten this up a whole bunch, the stuff that's in the foreground. You guys, these Dollar Tree canvases, I mean, come on, it's $1, right? So experiment, have fun with it, even if you goof it up. If you really feel like practicing, you guys, I always recommend either that you guys get the books. I use these books all the time, the mixed media books, to practice and to paint. I use the sketchbooks to sketch, but if I'm painting or watercoloring, I use the mixed media book because it can handle, the pages are thick enough that it can handle water, it can handle texture media and decoupage and all that. But you can always practice on regular paper or on you can always practice on cardboard, like your Amazon box, or your practice on your envelope that you get from Essential Stencil when you order your stencils. Isn't that pretty so far? So far, we got our sky, we got our ocean. Let's get into some sand here. I'm just gonna clean my paintbrush. I always have a little bucket here. I wanna get some of that blue off my brush. I'm gonna go into some pink, and what color did I pick? Pink, and I have rosy beige. I don't know, I've never done sand before. I kind of thought, I love the look of pink sand. So I don't know where this beach is, but you can use your imagination. I'm going to go in with a little bit of this rosy beige, which this is the color I use when I'm doing like portraits. Oh gosh, let me show you this project I did recently, you guys, because I'm so excited about it. I learned this from Jennifer Chamberlain. It was one of her projects in her monthly group. Isn't she cute? This is a collage, but the color I used on her face was this with a little tish of brown in it just to darken her skin tone up a little bit. So anyway, I really like this rosy beige from Ceramic Coat Delta. I don't know. I had never bought that paint before, and I love when I don't get to the craft stores often, but when I do, I love to pick up a new brand just to test it out and see. All right, so this is going to be our sand. I hope I have enough of it, or not too, I hope it's not too much. So I'm adding a little bit of white, a little bit of that cream coat, and we're going to, I need to soften this line between the ocean, like where the water starts. Oh, picked up a little blue by accident in my sand. Okay, and I'm gonna see if a little bit of pink, what that's gonna do. Oh my gosh, 262 of you. Thank you for being here, you guys. I will give away 3 sets of stencils toward the end, so stay tuned. That's the really fun part at the end. I love pink sand, and I was hoping I could work a little pink in here, and I don't know how that's going to work, so it's okay. Let's just see how that works. I want to soften that pink a little bit. Just a little bit too much of a pink streak. I wanted it to be a pink tinge, but not a streak, if you know what I mean. And now just a little more white to brighten it up a little. There we go. All right, so far so good, right? I like it. I think it's okay. So there's my background. The sky is almost dry already, right? So this is pretty easy, you guys, and you can adjust your paint colors as you see fit. I got a little like paint booger fell on here, like from this bottle. Like I call the little dry crusty things that fall off your paint bottle paint boogers, and I got a little one right there. Now what I would say too, normally with this kind of canvas, I would come around and paint the sides the same colors that I was doing on the front, but because I haven't done that yet, for the sake of time, I'm just gonna go on with the stenciling part, but I think at the end what I'm gonna do is I'll come around with one of these colors, probably the sky blue, and just go around the whole, all 4 edges so that it at least coordinates. But normally when I was painting the sand, I'd go all the way around the edge so it follows through. But I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I can do that later. For the sake of time, we're just gonna keep painting. Hi, Donna in Iowa. Hello, hello. Everybody's telling me if they like turtles. Oh, look at all the little turtle emojis. I love them. Denise, you've never done a stretch canvas. Well, if you get to the Dollar Tree ever, they're just a buck. They're just a buck. So you can, they're a little tricky in the fact of this. I'll give you a couple of things that I know, and I'm not an expert by any stretch, but no pun intended with stretch canvases. So you can buy different, you know, at the Dollar Tree, you just get, they have a stretch canvas. The tricky part is in the middle, when you're painting or doing something in the middle, it's soft and it has no backing. So it moves, like you can see my fingerprints. You can see my fingers through there. It's like a baby pushing through his mama's belly when mom's pregnant. So you can, like it's very, very movable. So if that's a challenge for the type of project you're doing, think about that. At the Dollar Tree, there's just one choice. But when you go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby, let me just push this up for a second so you guys can see me. When you go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and you go into the canvas aisles, if you were doing a project that you wanted a higher quality canvas, like there are like 4 or 5 different levels of canvas, stretched canvases that you can buy. And with each level, the canvas itself that you're painting on, so this like fabric piece that you're painting on, is thicker and tighter as it goes up. So the stretch, I feel like my experience is that that stretch that you can see from that being soft and pliable is minimized the higher level, but they're more expensive, right? I always get the cheap ones because I am not a professional artist. I'm not putting this in an art gallery or selling it at an art auction or something. Most of the time I'm just creating it for myself. So I'm really good with the cheap ones. I don't need anything super special, but a true artist, a professional artist, and actually I think they call, one of them is like student grade and the other one is professional grade. I don't know any more than that to technically speak about it, but I think that they get a little bit more quality, higher quality if you pay more. Hey Jude, hello from Ohio. So feel free, Denise, to give it a whirl, give it a try. Oh, Joyce says, I'm getting excited. So we're gonna stencil right on this. I created the background, just some sky with blue and white. So the blue that I used was this. You can use any blue. I used light periwinkle. If I had a softer sky blue, I would have used it, but that was the blue that I had and I just mixed in some white. Then for this center part, I used that same blue because it helped to transition. I pulled in ocean green and I pulled in desert turquoise just to add some green and some, I needed this to be a little darker toward the back. I could have even done a better job of making that even darker, but you know, the background of the ocean would be darker because it would have shadows, right? And this part would be lighter and you'd actually be able to see through if you put your toes in the water. You know, a nice clean beach, you'd be able to see your toes because the water is so translucent, but it still has that blue-green. And then we have our sand, and I just used white and this cream coat, which is called Rosy Beige. So those are the colors that I use. Oh, and I added just a tish of pink, baby pink, to the sand. Now we're going to stencil. So what I want to do is to get this guy on here. I love the animals, you guys. I love the animals. So I'm going to put this guy on here, and he's going to be standing in the sand. Oh, I need to dry this a little bit before I stencil. Just give me a second. And I will check comments while I'm taking my hairdryer to this. Oh, Joyce says, I have faith in you. Thank you, Joyce Ann. Thank you. Hi, Sherry. Colleen says, you can do it. Yes, you guys, thank you for the encouragement. I don't normally do this. I don't normally go live and do a project that I have never done before. I almost always, 99.8% of the time, I have practiced it. This time I'm just going live. We're just chancing it. Hi, Elizabeth Ann from Massachusetts. I grew up in Massachusetts, Elizabeth, right outside of Boston. Where are you from, friend? I have a brother in Gloucester, a sister in Melrose, a brother in Malden, a sister in Danvers. So my family is still all out there. A brother in Bedford, New Hampshire, a sister in Lawrence, a brother in Westfield. I'm from a big family, you guys. I have a really big family. 12 brothers and sisters, so most of my siblings are still out in Massachusetts. So welcome. Welcome from Massachusetts. Hello in Texas, Miss Marilyn. And Jennifer's here from Virginia. Oh, see, me too. Jennifer says, I love anything beachy. Me too. I'm a huge Beachy fan. I love everything Beachy, although I don't live by an ocean beach. We live at a lake, which is, oh, it's very beautiful too. But I grew up like on Boston Harbor, literally like down the street from Boston Harbor. So I love the ocean. I love the beachy feel, the salt, that the salty air and the smell of the ocean. I just love it. Happy little cloud, Sherry, just like Bob Ross, my happy little cloud up there. It's going to cover you up and give you just a tish of shade for a minute while you're on that sunny beach. Yes, Audrey says the Craft Therapy Club. Yes, the Craft Therapy Club is my membership club. We do one live craft project together a month. I'm lining up some like guest instructors to come in. So if you have any interest in a membership club where we do crafts, you can go over to the Comfy Nest with Grace and message me, and I'll give you all the information you need. Hi in Maryland, Miss Kathy. All right, let's get this pelican going. Kim says that pelican is my favorite. Isn't that cute? I'll admit to you, Kim, I did look it up. I did pull up a pelican on Google Images because I wanted to make sure that I pulled the right colors for the pelican. So I have, of course, we're going to use the white. But I'm also going to use a little gray in his feathers. I need black for the eyeball, and then orange and yellow for the beak and the feet, the webbed feet. So I think I'm going to start with the body. So let's just get some white. And I need smaller paintbrushes because this is much smaller. I'm going to use the smallest Essential Stencil brush to do the breast of the pelican and his back, his wing, with the white. And then I'm going to come in with just a Tisha Gray and a detail brush to add some detail. You'll see. You guys, I'm a huge paint fan. In the Craft Therapy Club, we do like crafty crafts, and we do some paintings. And I love exploring the world of paint. Now see, as I'm trying to push down on this is going to be the challenge, you guys. I'm not, first of all, I'm not taping this down. But I want to show you, as I push down, do you see how it moves? So one thing that you could do if you have that happening is to take a book or something solid that you have. Let me see if I can find a book that will fit under there. Like my little book here. I just got at Walmart. Let's see if it'll fit under there. If you can fit something right under there, then it gives you the solid so when you push, it doesn't go down. So find something that you can fit underneath your canvas panel if you can. That is solid, and that will give you that solid ground that you need for your stenciling. Okay, the painting doesn't matter as much because I was blending colors, but for the stenciling, for sure, you want to make sure that it's, because you're pushing down and you want it to stay still so that you don't get bleed through. So now I think I'm going to come up here, and he's going to be white up here, but I'm going to add yellow and orange for the beak. So you notice when I'm stenciling, this middle part doesn't really matter because I don't have to worry about bleed through in here. But when I come over by the edge of his breastplate, I'm coming on the stencil and coming off. Do you see the direction that I'm taking? Again, to avoid bleed through. So you start on the stencil and come toward the middle of the part that you're trying to stencil. That's one way to do it. Or you could always stipple, which is just the up and down pouncing motion to avoid bleed through. That's a really good way to do it. Some of us like to do the little circles. The real key is to make sure that you have like a dry brush. So I come to my little paint palette. I have this bunch of paint right here that's glistening. It's a little pool. And what I do is if you want to pick up paint, you just take a little bit of paint. You can see just that much paint on your brush. And then I call it the land of offload. Somewhere on your paint palette, your paper plate, your wax paper, just get most of that paint off of your brush and swirl it into your brush bristles so that your bristles look dry. You're going to have plenty of paint on your brush that you need. See, it's still giving me my white, but now I have less paint on there, and so I can avoid that bleed through that everybody dreads. If you're new to stenciling and you're struggling with bleed through, I would just say really just keep practicing, okay? So that you don't get discouraged. Get yourself a notebook or one of those art books or just a bunch of cardboard or plain paper, printer paper, and practice stenciling on one of those things, so that when you go into your art canvas or whatever it is that you're trying, you know, a piece of furniture, you have a pretty good feel for it before you go into like, you know, a more expensive, more committed project, right? So that's my advice. Less paint is better. And try, there are a few different ways. We can do circles, we can stipple, we can go back and forth, we can use this motion of coming onto the stencil and then brushing toward the middle off the stencil. There's all kinds of tips we can give you, but to really learn it, you guys, you just have to practice it. You just have to get in with your paint supplies and your stencils and practice. Now I'm coming back in over the first coat of white and I'm stippling on more white, and I am not dry. I'm not getting a dry brush here. I have a bit of paint on there because what I want to do is give texture to the feathers. Okay, so this is a feathered friend. And so he probably has some fluff to him in places. And so by coming in with wetness on my brush and just, I've already got a basic coat of white, but now I'm coming in and I'm just pouncing on some extra paint. I'll pick this up to show you. So it gives the illusion of texture. And like his feathers are a little thicker on top than they might be on the bottom, but it makes it more realistic than just a plain brushed on coat of white. So can you see how it's darker in some places than it is in others, and it looks fluffy? When you're doing animals or creatures, that's a great way to do it, to get your first coat on and then come in with a little extra paint, and all you do is you dab up and down to create that texture, okay? Oh, thank you, Anne. She says, I love that you give tips when you paint. I love to teach you guys. I love, love, love it. It makes me so happy to share with you all the things that I've learned over the years. I'm just overjoyed to share that with you. So I appreciate you saying that. I think about ordering stencils. Thank you. Well, Rose, I hope if you order them, I hope you're really happy with them and you're able to take some of these tips and use them. Okay, I'm going in with smaller brushes now. This is the smallest stencil brush I have. It's the only one I have, I think, like this. Colleen asked me where I got it, and I'm pretty sure I got it at Walmart years ago. It does not have a brand name on it. Otherwise, I would tell you what it is. And I looked at my Walmart. I was earlier this week, and they didn't have them. But I'm sure that's where I got it. It's just a tiny little stencil brush. I'm going to use that for the feet and the beak, just because there's smaller spaces. But I have this one as well. This is just a basic acrylic brush with a round head. Okay, it's just a basic round head acrylic brush. This one doesn't have it does have writing on it, but it's fading off. Let me see if I can read it. Oh my gosh, you guys. I know, because you sometimes ask, brushes have size numbers on them, and so that indicates to you how big they are. I can't read it. It says Royal and Langnickel, but I cannot read the size. I tried, girls and guys and girls. I tried. I got my readers out, but I can't. It's too old and it's brushed off. But it's just a little round. I'm going to use these two to do the orange for the feet, and I'm going to do the beak yellow. If I can get some orange out of there. There we go. We just need the tiniest little bit of paint. Do you see how much I have there? It's just the tiniest little bit. We don't need a lot because they're just two small areas. So I looked them up on Google Images. If you're not sure, if you're stenciling something like this and you're just not sure, I'm not good at remembering details, but I looked it up. Some of them have yellow beaks, some of them have orange beaks, some of them have very pale peach colored beaks with some black in them, as a matter of fact. So I just wanted to know what color scheme I needed. And their feet are like yellow, orange, right? So I'm just coming in with this tiny brush to add some orange paint to get his little feet down. And then I'm just going to do these orange, but then I'm going to come in for the beak, I'm going to do some yellow, some orange, and some white. I think I'm going to give it some variety to the color in that. If you guys have questions, go ahead and ask them. I'll check comments here in a second when I pull my eyes off of what I'm doing here. So I'm just up and down motion with the paint. That's all I'm doing, up and down, and the brush is so small that it fits right in between the two lips of the stencil, like around the leg, so I don't have to worry so much about bleed through because it's just the tiniest little brush. Okay, I am going to put a little bit of orange in the beak, but I want it to mainly be yellow. I'm going to use my finger to hold down this part of the stencil, and I'm just going to put a little band of orange underneath this big part of his beak. And actually, I was going to use a different brush for the yellow, but I can come in, I'm just going to now blend in the yellow for the top part of the beak. So he's going to have like two different colors going here. And I looked it up on Google so I could be confident about that. I did look it up on Google. The one that I saw that I loved so much, his beak was like, his or her, I don't know, was white and yellow and orange, so it had a couple of different colors on it, so I'm going to try to achieve that. I want the white to be brighter, but show some yellow and orange in there too. And you know what's interesting? I used to have a bird. I had a bird, a parakeet, and I did not know until I had her that the little part of their nose that's like above their beak, that little part on a parakeet, if it's pink, it's a girl, and if it's blue, it's a boy. So maybe the colors indicate something. I don't know. I'd have to Google that too, to be honest with you. You know who would know? My 14-year-old son. When he was little, my little 14-year-old, when he was like in kindergarten, we used to get National Geographic, and they had a publication for kids, and all it was like a educational card. It was like, and you opened it up, it was laminated, and it had all the facts about one particular animal, and he got like 3 every month. He would get like the, killer whale, and then he would get blue whales and maybe narwhals. Like those would be the 3 animals for the month. And he would sit and read these stinking little things. And to this, he must have a photographic memory, because to this day, if you say to him, oh, wow, that whale is really big, I wonder how big they can get, he can tell you, oh, males can get up to so many tons. He knows exactly from those little things that he used to get in the mail. It still shocks me. He must have like a photographic memory. I do not. But studying for him is very easy, because he can read something once and he kind of just knows it. It's very unusual for him to not know something that he's seen before. It's kind of creepy, actually. Okay, on the eye, around the eye, I do want it to be bright yellow. So I'm going to come in with a little more yellow and actually just coming down off the eye. But I wanted this to have some variety to it. I want more white. I'm going to clean my brush off with the yellow and the orange white mix. And I'm going to just grab some white paint here, because I want to make it a little white. More white. More white. We want more white. So I'm just going to come in here. You just need such a little amount of paint, you guys. I'm going to offload a little bit of that. And I'm just dabbing in some white now, because it turned out more muddy looking than I wanted it. I want it to be a little brighter than that. So I like the dark on the bottom edge, but I wanted the rest of it to be brighter than it turned out. So I'm just going to freshen up the color of the beak to make it a little white. More white. Okay, I'm going to hinge this up. This is what I call this. I hold it down strongly in one section, and I just pick a part of it so I can look at it and see if I like it. And I'm most concerned with the beak. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm going to do this. It's still wet. Holding it down strongly, I'm going to come in with my rag, and I'm just going to press down to absorb. It's very peachy looking on the bottom. I don't want peach. That's not what I was looking for. So I'm trying to just dab off some of that paint. I'm not going to get it all. But here's the thing when you're painting. If you have you can almost always fix a mistake with painting, almost always. But you have to let it dry. I don't like my color, but if I keep coming in with more white, it's just going to keep blending with the white or with the wet yellow and the wet orange that I have there. So I need to let it dry so that I can go back in and add more white. So that's the key. So I blotted some off, and now I'm gonna dry it with my hairdryer, and then I'm gonna come in with a little more white. So almost always, if you have a paint color that you don't like, if you can dab some off, dab it, or just dry it completely and then go over it with the color that you do want. But you have to let it dry, or you're just gonna keep mixing the colors, and you're not gonna you're just gobbing on more paint. Oh, thank you, Karen. Karen says she sprinkled. Thank you for doing that. Thank you, thank you. All right, I'm gonna come in. I want more white and more yellow. It turned too peachy for me. I'm gonna use a new brush. Just picking up a little bit of the white. Let me check comments quick. I think it's great. You know what you like or need to be happy. Yes, that's true. Thank you, Christina, for sprinkling. Yeah, the beak color. So we're going for a little variety here. I want white, and I wanted orange, and I wanted yellow, but I think because I was blending it too much, it turned more peachy than I wanted it. So I'm gonna come in and I'm just adding, I'm stippling on some white. I got a little bit of orange color on the neck that's supposed to be white, so I'm gonna fix that while I'm here with my white. And then I'm gonna come in with some black here in a second. You'll see. I think that's better. This transition between this darker part and the white, I'm just softening the transition so it looks less abrupt, if that makes any sense. Oh, I like it. Okay, now I like it. Now I like it. I had a little tiny bleed through right here with some orange, but I'm not worried about that because I'm going to show you why. And I'm going to show you when you have bleed through how you can fix that. Okay, girls, like it's how you can... It's doing two things. It's fixing it, and it's going to make your project come alive, okay? I just cleaned off my brush a little, and I'm drying it off on my rag. I'm going to come in and I just see one more place, you guys, here that I want to do a little more white. There, right there. Being a little fussy tonight with my pelican. Now I want to add some gray, okay? So I wanted to add some gray to his back, to the feathers. So I'm going to put this brush away. I'm going to come in with this detail brush again, the browned brush. It's not quite a detail brush, but it has a point on it that's going to give me what I want. I'm coming in with a super soft gray. It's called Granite Gray. So it's just going to look, actually, if you've ever been to the beach or you've seen seabirds, they're never pure. They're almost never pure white. Sometimes they are, but a lot of times, like the beachy birds that are white, like the pelicans and the cranes and stuff that are white, they have gray feathers because they're dirty. Because they get dirty because they're like mucking around in the brackish waters looking for fish and picking up their food source, and so their feathers get kind of gray, dirty, and the older they are, it looks almost like they got stained with gray, which is kind of funny and interesting to me. So I'm just coming in, and on each one of these little wings, I'm adding a little stripe of gray. And then on the edges, like on his breast and on the top of his head, I added just the tish of gray. It's going to be super subtle, but it's just giving the illusion of like he's a dirty bird. Like he's been mucking around in the water looking for food. Okay, I'm going to pick this up. Oh my gosh, look at you guys. So can you see how the gray along the wings, I put some gray on, let me get a little, what can I point with? Let me just get a brush here. Right here, I put some gray, right here. And then on the top of his head, I put just a tish of that light gray. So he doesn't look perfect, right? So if you want a really realistic animal, okay, for any of them, you know, like your turtle isn't going to be a solid green. It's kind of probably going to be like a light green, a dark green, some black mixed in there. And so have some fun playing with blending and highlighting certain things, okay? These animal critters, these critters are fantastic. So much fun. Okay, the beak, it has so much bleed through. There's so much bleed through on the beak, particularly right there. You can see where the orange bled through. So I'm going to show you a way that you can fix that, but let's get our wording down because I'm going to use this other stencil here. Life is Better at the Beach. And I'm going to do this. Anybody want to vote what color I should do this with? Life is Better at the Beach. I was kind of thinking orange. Orange or yellow? You guys vote. Vote for me and tell me. He looks like he has feathers, right? It's just that little bit of, so I did two things for the feathers. We did like a really light coat of white. And then after that dried, I came in with my round brush and I pounced on some thicker white that gave it texture and like a deeper white color in those areas. And then the third thing I did was I came in with that very light gray and just mucked up the edges so he looks dirty. So you guys vote. Should the words be in orange or in yellow? You tell me. Orange. Rhonda says orange. Deanna says orange. Joyce votes for yellow. Let me look. I always, on my page, The Comfy Nest, I do this a lot where I ask my viewers to vote and I go with whatever they say, which is really, really fun. Like, all right, you guys think yellow is going to be best? Then that's what I'll do. Kim says, so fun. Thank you for sharing, Kim. I'm going to put an eye on my pelican while you guys are voting because I want to hear what you have to say. The way I'm going to do my eye is I'm going to take, I'm going to just take a paintbrush and I'm going to use the bottom of the paintbrush to just dot on a little black eye. I'm going to do it right here first to make sure I don't have too much. And then I'm going to come right in here and just dot on a little black eye. That's just one way to get a really clean dot because you're not using bristles. You're just using the bottom of your paintbrush. And then I just put it in the water and clean that off and I'm done with that. So the eye, you know, kind of a perfect little round circle for his eye. Okay, what did we vote? Orange or yellow? Those are our two choices, orange or yellow, orange or yellow. Karen says dark gray. Mary says orange. Yeah, Becky, I think so too. She says it came to life. Marcia says yellow. Colleen says orange. Connie says orange or navy. Yellow with a tad of orange. You guys are giving me all kinds of options. Would look cute in the beach house or even a bathroom. Yes, this would be really cute in a bathroom. Yellow. Kathy says coral. Orange. I think orange would balance with the feet too. Or the yellow. All right, let's do it. We're going with orange. The orange is really bright. Why don't we do a blend of the orange and yellow since we have so many votes both ways. He's a little bit wet on his neck, so I cannot put this down because it will smear his paint. So let me get that dry and then we'll go ahead and add some words on here. And then I'll show you how to clean up your bleed through. Don't let me forget that. Orange, yellow. I thought brown for wings, but I like the gray. Thank you, Judy. Yellow, yellow. Sandy says use brown. Orange. Kathy votes for orange. This canvas is an 8 by 10, Sandy. She's asking what size the canvas is. I'm pretty sure it's an 8 by 10. Yep. It is. It's an 8 by 10. Just wanted to make sure. Didn't want to lie to you, honey. Yeah, Jane, doing the eye, anything that you want to do round, like even polka dots, if you wanted to put like, that's how I did the polka dots around her dress. Like all the little dots, they look like pom-poms all the way around her dress and around her neck. That's just the bottom end of your brush. The handle of your brush will give you those perfect little circles. Oh, that's how my nail tech does dots. There you go, Jessica. I obviously don't get my nails done. My nails are always painted with acrylics. Acrylic paint, not acrylic nails. That's my manicure of choice. Thanks, Carolyn. She says he's adorable. Judy says do an ombre. I'm going to do a blend of yellow and orange. Let's do it. Let's do it. Diane says do both yellow and orange. Let's do it. We're going to mix the two, I guess. Easy way to do the eye. Yes. I'm really behind on comments, aren't I? Blend of orange and yellow. Yes, Loada, that's what we're going to do. And Diane, your little emojis, the lemon and the orange. All right, let's do it. I think he's dry enough, I hope. I'm going to put Life is Better and then At the Beach down here. I could do the At the Beach first. I'm worried that that dot of black is still a little bit wet. So let's do this. I'm gonna put at the beach on the sand. Life is better gonna go on the sky. That's my plan. So let's do this part first because I have no chance of touching his eyeball with that, with that stencil. And I'm gonna use my littlest, because these letters are little. They're very little. So I'm gonna come in with my littlest stencil brush. So I'm just gonna get the water off of it. I cleaned out the color, got the water off, and uh-oh, I almost dropped it on the canvas. Whew. And then I come in and just dry off those bristles on my rag. I got paint on my arm. Okay, now yellow and orange. I got a little bit of both left here on my tin foil. So let's start with the yellow. We'll do yellow on, let's try an ombre. We'll do yellow on the top. I want to see if the yellow even shows up well, because if it's not showing up really well, I'll just go in with orange. Yeah, it doesn't show up well, guys. It's not showing really well. So it's not a problem. I'm going to do it in orange. Those letters are so skinny and so little that the yellow is, it's too close to my sand color. It's too close and too much in the same family. It's not really showing up. Do you want to see that? You might not have seen it as well as I did. Let me pick it up and I'll show you. I'm going to change the color to orange because the yellow, you just can't see it that well. So I'm holding it really strongly with my thumb. I'm going to hinge this up. Call this the hinge method. It's really hard to see. You can see a little bit of yellow, but you can't really read it, especially from far away. So the orange will give better contrast. Or somebody suggested I could have done gray or black. Those are always classic, like perfect choices for word colors too, you know, because they're neutral and they're really going to give you the contrast that you need. This binding is kind of in my way for my words here, so I'm going to flip that around. There we go. Okay, let's try the orange. I dabbed a little bit of that yellow off. I'm going to go right over it now with the orange and see if the orange shows up well enough. I'm just pouncing it up and down very lightly. These words are just tiny. They're just the tiniest little words. So it's interesting because you know, when you're thinking about doing your projects, the color choices, I try to use the same colors that I used in my painting. Like, so I'd be tempted to use like a navy blue because I already have blue on here, but blacks and grays always work for wording. And if you had a black background or a gray background, white always works for wording. All right, let's pick this up and just hinge this up and see if this is any better with the orange. Yes, now we can read it. Now you can read it very clearly. Okay, huge difference, right? So don't panic. Don't panic. All right, it smudged just a little, it moved just a little bit on me. So I encourage you, it just went wrong, like it did not work. Yellow did not work. As much as I love the idea of the yellow on there, it's just not gonna work. So, but don't panic. When you're working on your projects, just leave your stencil in place. You saw me take my clean rag and I just pressed down on your letter, on your stencil to dab off the paint that you don't want on there. Really making sure or wanting it to be as dry as possible, the yellow, before you go back on top with the orange. So dabbing it off was sufficient. There wasn't a ton of paint there in the first place. They're tiny little letters. If it was a bigger project and you had more paint and dabbing didn't get off your paint, then just blow dry it like a warm or cool setting on a blow dryer until it's dry, and then go over it with your next color, the color that is going to work. Okay, don't panic. If you put the color on there and you're like, man, it's not showing up, you saw me, just rework it. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. All right, now we know we can just come in with this really bright orange and this is going to show up just fine. So I'm going to stick with orange. I was going to do a little combination. I was going to try to ombre the yellow and the orange, but since on the sand, I can only get the orange to show. I mean, I could have changed my mind and went with black. right? I could have done that, but I really I love bright colors. You don't say. Here are some of my recent projects that I'm just having so much fun, so in love with them. I'm getting ready for my next month in the Craft Therapy Club, and I've been practicing a few things. I love bright colors. I love color. Now, my house is all black and white and gray, but I love playing with pops of color on pillow covers and like a big, like, you know, fake bouquet of flowers or greenery to add color. I have a chair that's turquoise blue in my dining room. All the other chairs are black, and I have one turquoise one at the head of the table. So I love playing with pops of color. So I do it with all the little accessories in my house. So I was pretty sure I wanted it to be, I mean, I could have totally used black or gray or brown and it would have been fine. Oh, and you know what, guys? It's really interesting. I'm going to pull this up closer so you can see it. Check out the words at the, because just a tish of the yellow shows, just a little bit. Like, it almost looks like I meant to do that, but you can read that so much better than the yellow. Oh my gosh, I actually, for not having practiced this ahead of time, I'm really loving this guy. I hope you guys do too. I hope it encourages you to grab this set. The name of the two sets, By the Sea, is the one with the critters. And you get 6 of them. And the other set is, I think it's called the Beach set. And I put the descriptions in the description of this video. So after I'm done with the live, you can go back and look at it if you need the names of them. But I think if you just type in summer, you'll get all of the summer sets, and those 2 sets show up. And then use my code, The Comfy Nest, and you'll get 10% off. I would really appreciate that. Okay, here we go. We're gonna put in the up here. I gotta make sure that that eye is dry, and I don't wanna smudge it. So if you need to test something, just with your finger, push down straight without smudging back and forth. I think it's still wet. I think it's still wet. No, it's not. All right, awesome. So now I'm gonna put Life is Better up here in that same color, in the orange. I'm not even gonna monkey with the yellow, you guys, even though I have a little bit of yellow in my words at the, I'm not gonna even monkey with it up here. I could put a little bit of yellow in the words is better because that would coordinate, but I don't know. I don't know. You tell me, should I monkey with it or should I just leave it? I could add a little yellow. I'll just do the same thing I did the first time to make it really look coordinated. You guys, this may seem, you know, my husband will watch something like this and he's like, oh my gosh, really? Like, you're putting all that effort into this? Yes, and it's turning out great. I get so excited because it's turning out so good. This to me, especially with all your company, like you guys commenting and sharing and giving your opinion, this is such great. This is why I call my club is called the Craft Therapy Club. Well, the folks in there aren't really getting, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist or anything like that, but together, crafting together and enjoying each other's fellowship and enjoying the projects and learning new techniques is so relaxing to me. When it's midnight and I'm supposed to be going to bed, I am like every night I have a conversation with myself. Oh, do you have any energy left, Grace? Can you just get in your craft room and paint one more thing? And a lot of nights I say, no, I need this sleep. And some nights I say, yes, I have a little more energy. I can go in there and paint one more thing. I forgot about the yellow. I'm just going to dry off some of that orange, add a little bit of yellow, and then I'll come in. First, let me put some yellow. And then I'll come in and I'll put the orange on top of it for is better. So it looks exactly like the other words, the at the. So add the yellow. So last time what I did was I added it. I find a clean place on my rag. I'm trying to duplicate what I did down below. I'm just gonna pat, you can see what I'm getting up on there. I'm just gonna pat it off. And then I'll come in with the orange. I'm getting off the excess so that what I get when I put this in orange is a pure orange color. Okay, get a little drink of water. Oh, Sherry, no, I don't tape. I don't tape. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. But you know what, Sherry? I think it comes with time. She says, I love how confident you are. You just eyeball it and you don't even tape your stencil down. It comes with time, Sherry. The more you do it, it's like anything else. Like the first time you make, you know, your mom's spaghetti sauce, you're just not sure, so you follow it to a T. But then after you've made it 40 times, you're like, yeah, I got this. Like, and then you realize how you and your family like it, and so you make the adjustments you need to without even looking at the recipe, right? It's the same thing with everything. Same thing with driving a car. I always equate it to like driving a car. You have to get all those nuances. The only way to like really get it down is to just keep doing it over and over. And by the time you're 40, you don't even think about it anymore. If you've been driving your whole adult life, you don't even think about it. You automatically do everything you're supposed to do without too much thought. My son, who is 14, he's getting his license this summer. He should get it by the end of the summer. He'll be 15 this summer, and he's had his permit for a year. So he has been driving to school all year round. Like he has his permit and he gets behind the wheel as much as he can. And it's funny because the whole brake thing, like how hard do you push down on the brake and how hard do you push on the gas to get it to go? You know, it took him about a week to really get, like, and it's a little different Mom's car than it is in Dad's truck. So it's just like stenciling. You just have to do it. And the more you do it, then the more confident you get. I'm sure of it. That's totally how I feel about that. Okay, the yellow did not come through as much on this one, but it's okay. It still looks, I think it looks, the words look awesome. Like you can totally see them. They coordinate really well. They're very beachy looking. I love that you can split stencils. Like I didn't have to take it in its entirety. All I wanted from that one was the words. So that's what I took off of it. Okay, so let's play with this pelican. I'm going to show you how to fix your bleed through a little bit, and then we'll pull for some prizes. I hope you guys are learning some fun things here. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm looking for a detail brush. Look at you guys. Here are all my detail brushes, small and large. Here they all are, and I don't like any of them. I'm going to use this one, I think. They're all need to be treated. I need to work on them, and I haven't had time. So here, I'm going to use a detail brush with some black. I'm going to go in pure black. This is what I normally do on my paintings. And we're going to add some paint boogers. We're going to add some outline to the pelican. I'm not going to do it on anything else but the pelican, and it's going to help cover up my brush strokes now, or my bleed through. So the other thing that you can do is use a paint marker, or even you could even use, a lot of people use Sharpie markers with the fine point. I like brush tip markers. You could use this for this process, a brush tip marker. So here's the thing. Brilliant Color Concentrated Formula. It doesn't say on this one. The only thing I would say about this is to test it out before you use a marker, because some of the paint markers are shiny, and I always paint with acrylics that are matte. I don't like my highlighting to be shiny most of the time. So you could use a marker or a pen. Just make sure you test it out with the paints that you're using before you use it. Let me see if I can give you, yeah, on her, I actually on her, when I did I put a black outline all around her. And when I did it, I used a glitter gel pen. So she has glitter all around the flowers, all around her dress. It's a glitter, and that was purposeful. I wanted it to be real whimsical. On something like this, you will want it to be matte. I would think you're going to want it to be matte. Although, hey, who am I to say? You do it. Like I always say, I'm not the boss of you. You do whatever you want. For this one, I want the outline to be matte. So you're going to come in with the tiniest little detail brush. See how tiny that is? Kind of mimics a pen. And we're going to come around, and I'm just going to start on the beak because you see that bleed through. I want to cover that up. And the detail, this outlining helps to do that. So we're just going to come in, and these lines do not need to be perfect, but I'm going to just give the whole pelican. My brushes need work. They're not as fine tip as they should be because I've used them so much. So I'm going to come around. I'll hold it up for you here in a second. And I'm going to just outline, not perfectly. You'll see all the lines are not going to be solid. Some of them are going to be more dry brushed looking because I run out of paint. And I don't fix that. I don't go back and add more. I leave it as it is because I want it to be imperfect. I don't like I don't like perfect paint. I don't like perfect finishes. I just don't like it. I like things to look handmade and real. To me, that's super authentic. Okay, so I'm coming around and I'm just adding a little bit of black outline to the whole bird. So I covered up that orange that had bled through is covered up. And I want you to see the difference between the top half of the bird that has been outlined and the bottom that has not. What the black outline does is it makes that figure, whether it's a girl, whether it's a pelican, a flamingo, anything, octopus, dolphin, it's going to make it pop off the page. So if you just bear with me, you can watch me do this. And you can adopt this trick for yourself if you want to. In my craft therapy club, we always, almost everything that I do this with it. And I always make sure to tell everybody it's an option. If you prefer yours without this, then don't do it. But I've never met anybody who prefers it without. Everybody who I know, who is in my group or has taken workshops from me, prefer the outlines because they really make things come to life. So those lines in between the stencil that created the wings, I'm covering them up so that you're not going to see blue anymore. You're not going to see the blue ocean behind him. You're going to see just this black detail. So it really makes the wings detail and pop out. Okay, and we already have the gray on there. But I'm going to come in now and detail out all of this fantastic detail of this little pelican. Ooh, that was a really dark. I had a lot of paint on my brush when I did that one. Now here, this spot between his eye, where else might I want to do it? I'm going to leave his feet alone. I'm not going to do his feet. I really wanted to just do the bird. And like I said, it covers up your little bleed through, and then it just makes him kind of pop off the page a little more. Agree? Do you guys like it? Show me some hearts if you like the detail. I'm not offended if you don't. But those of you who like it, it's a great option for cleaning up any bleed through, as you can see. But beside that, I do it on, this is not stenciled. I painted this, but I always add the black. I did it on this one too. All of the butterfly I outlined with black. The flowers I outlined with black. This cake, I outlined everything with black because it just makes everything like separated and pop, and they each take on their own life. So all I have left to do on this guy is to cover my sides because I hadn't done those. And I might just do those black. I just might do those just straight black to make them kind of look clean and neat. There it is, you guys. So we can create pieces of art with our stencils. So the 2 stencil sets I used, they both have 6 stencils in them. I used this set by the sea with that little pelican. And I used this set, the beach mini set, and I used, you can hardly see them, they're so small. This one, where is it? Life is Better at the Beach. I used that one right in the middle. Okay, so if you decide to get them or anything else that you put in your cart, you'll get 10% off with my code, The Comfy Nest. So please use that. Yes, I agree. Christine says it really makes it pop, right? So now you can just put this on your wall for summer. You paid $1 for it. You had a little time. You could do this while you're watching a movie, for goodness sake. Or listening to some great music, right? Sitting outside under a tree in the summer. Just grab your paints and this little canvas and your stencils and get out there and create yourself something really cute. You can make a set of these, really. You could do 4 of them. You know, it's really fun when people get 4 canvases and they put them in a little square, and they each have you can put a different creature on each one of them and have the phrase on them. Oh, it's so cute. Yes, I think so too, Sherry. All right, let me pull some names. Let's pick some winners. I gotta get a piece of paper so I can write down who the winners are. Hold on. I gotta write you down. So those of you who win, I'm just gonna pull 3 names from the comments. I'm gonna do it down here on my iPad because I can get all of the comments easily without messing with the camera that I'm broadcasting from. When I pull your name, absolutely, if you're here, say, claim it, let us know that you're here. We'll all say congratulations to you, but you need to email. This is how you're going to get your prize. I'm going to submit the 3 names to Essential Stencil tonight to verify them, but either tonight or tomorrow, email the company at support@essentialstencil.com. There's no S at the end of stencil, so it's support@essentialstencil.com. gracegrace.com. That is who you're going to email, and just tell them you won during Grace's Live on Thursday night, and they will send you a set of stencils. They will need your name. Don't assume that your name is on your email. Tell them your name, because sometimes this woman today who emailed me, what was her email address? Something Mama. And I'm like, oh, who is that? I don't know. I have to look up the email address because I don't know who that is. So I don't know who Mama is. You have to give them your name, your mailing address, and your email address, and they will send you an email confirmation when it goes out. Oh, yay, Ellen. She says, I almost have my craft room organized and ready to go. All right, you guys, let's pull 3 names. I'm going to pull them randomly from the comments. Those of you who sprinkled, who, as Carol says, spread the honey. That's Carol from Be Inspired Market. She's a brand ambassador too. I love the name of her company. I love that she says spread the honey. We say, this is the word that Facebook doesn't want us to say, so we might say sprinkle or spread the love. If you could do that. Those of you who did, thank you for doing that. It's so helpful. Those of you who are interested in following me at The Comfy Nest, I am so honored if you do that. You'll find me at The Comfy Nest with Grace here on Facebook. And if you're interested in my membership club, just private message me and I'll give you details, okay? All right, let's pull a winner. I'm going down here on my iPad and I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning because there are, with 200 people on here, there are always a lot of comments. Okay, so Judy, all the Judys are like, yes. Judy Johnson, uh-oh, she went away. Pallas, P-A-L-L-A-S. Judy Johnson, she says, hello from Georgia. So Judy Johnson Pallas, you're our first winner. So welcome from Georgia, and you just won. Our next winner is Sherry. All the Sherrys, or I got your ears now, right? Sherry Roop, R-O-O-P, Hall, H-A-L-L. And her comment that won her is, my daughter loves turtles. My daughter loves turtles. Wow, that's so sweet. We found a lot of turtle lovers on here. Next winner. I got another winner for you, you guys. And these stinking comments are still flying by so fast. So just give me a second because I want to write in. Interestingly enough, I always find it funny because so many of us have, I gotta write it down before she disappears. So many of us have like several names. It's like our maiden name and our married name, or we might use our middle name. So this one's another 3-namer. Kim, all the Kimberlys, Kim Rhodes Richardson. The comment that won her is, that pelican is my favorite. So these are our 3 winners. Judy Johnson Pallas, Sherry Roop Hall, and Kim Rhodes Richardson. The 3 of you are winners. And I just did see a comment. Someone said, wow, a big family. She said she's from Rochester, Mass. Elizabeth, if you're still here, I grew up in Chelsea. I know where Rochester, Massachusetts is. I grew up in Chelsea, girlfriend, just north of Boston on Boston Harbor. So it's so good to find another Bostonian here. I love it, you guys. All right, yeah, Dawn says, wow, 12. Yeah, my mom had 13 single children, 13 births. We had no twins in our family. All right, you guys, I am so honored to have your company. Thank you for joining me. Please come follow me at The Comfy Nest with Grace. Don't forget that you have the option to sign up for text messaging. Essential Stencil has a great system. You just sign up for it. You can opt out anytime, but they will text message you if you're in your kitchen or you're in your garden working and just like enjoying the flowers or doing a little bit of weeding, picking a few tomatoes for dinner, and you get a little text message that says, Grace with The Comfy Nest is live right now. It gives you like a little indicator so that if you want to catch the live and have a chance to win some stencils, you can jump on and watch the live demo. So it's nice because if you're not in Facebook, you probably still have your phone around and your text messaging is open as long as your phone is on, right? So it's a nice extra way of getting notified. So you guys sign up for that. The code for that is in the description of this video. You have a beautiful, blessed night, everybody. I'll catch you next Thursday here on Essential Stencil. I'll be at 11 a.m. on Thursday next week. Take care, you guys. Bye.